Okay, apparently I didn't get enough of the whole video segment thing with the Billy Club. So I decided to do a series of reviews of the Daredevil novels that are out there. And first I'll just tell you which ones they are, in case you didn't know. The first one to come out was Predator Smile by Christopher Golden. And I won't get to this one today, nor will I cover this little piece of literature, The Cutting Edge by Madeline E. Robbins. Instead, I thought I'd go directly to the Daredevil movie novel adaptation. And this was written by Greg Cox, and I advise you to go to the Man Without Fear website and check out this interview with him. It's up there. Oops, sorry. If you want to know more about him and what he did with this novel and everything. The reason I thought this was interesting is because you kind of get a different perspective on the movie, because this was adapted from Mark Steven Johnson's script. And of course this was the original script because, as you know, the theatrical cut as it was released was altered. I mean, the director's cut was altered fairly late in the process, and that was originally supposed to be theatrical cut. So this is of course based on the director's cut. And many of the scenes you'll read about in this book are, I mean, verbatim scenes from the movie. I mean, you can kind of, if you've seen the movie enough times, you can like see it happening in front of you as you read it. What's really neat about it though is that it gives you kind of more of a deeper perspective, because as the way a book like this is written, you can kind of get the characters' thoughts and emotions and their perspective much better, which means that even though it's based on the movie script, the writer actually has to do a lot of work to actually make this into a book. I would say that people who hated the movie are not going to like this book. People who break out in hives at the mention of Mark Steven Johnson's name are not going to love this book. But it really does stand alone fairly well, and I would actually recommend that you read this if you feel at least so-so about the movie, because the book is actually pretty good. And I thought it added some really nice, it's got a couple of, extra scenes in it, or scenes that are longer than they are in the movie, and it also adds some really nice background to Jack Murdoch's character, for instance, and also what Matt is thinking a lot of the time, and you get a lot of, just like kind of the characters' thoughts and how they view their actions, and it also kind of casts light on the movie. We learned, for instance, that Daredevil did intend to kill Jose Quesada in that infamous subway scene. There's nothing here in this book to give you any kind of idea that there was any doubt in his mind that this person deserved to die. You also learn that the flaming double Ds, they're in this book. If you like the playground theme, you can read about it in this book in detail. It's really funny also how Greg Cox kind of adds his own thoughts to the movie. He even, brings up the part about how the kids are watching Elektra and Matt, on the teeter-totters, and what they must be thinking, and he also kind of adds some thoughts to what Matt is, some details to what Matt is thinking. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this out in public, but oh hey, all those kids probably saw those, blind samurai movies or whatnot, so they don't really care. All of these are out of print, by the way, but you can get them through various websites that sell used books, and they're quite easy to get hold of, and they're not expensive. So I do recommend reading this book if you didn't hate the movie. If you feel so-so about the movie, I still recommend reading it, because it's actually more, you do get more of that sense of the comic book version of Daredevil in the book than you do in the movie, perhaps, even though it's based on the same basic script. If I have to give it a score, maybe I should give it a score, I would say, I don't know, 3.5 out of 5, maybe 3.75, somewhere around there. I'll just put the ISBN number and stuff in the post so you know where to find this. Okay, thanks.